So wherever you are, you can, from an academic standpoint, y'all know I'm a high school dropout. Took me 12 years to get a 4-year degree. So you're not looking at a dude, and y'all know me, but I just want to make sure y'all understand. There was a time where I was homeless. I ain't had no money. So when you listen to the podcast, like, don't just get caught up in what I'm saying. Understand where I started from. I started from the bottom for real. So wherever you are, if you're looking at a dude in every area of his life that started from the bottom, that wasn't sweet in no area of his life, but not killing the game, you don't have no excuse. You don't have no excuse. There's not one area in my life that I started and I was sweet at. Not one. But there's not one area in my life that I didn't progress in and continue to progress in. No, write that down. Now, that's your biggest problem to success is you not growing. Like a lot of you haven't grown because you haven't grown. Like, you're the same version of yourself 10 years ago. You're the same version of yourself 20 years ago. Like, you haven't changed as an adult. You still on the same stuff. I'm not on the same stuff no more. I've grown. And I'm not telling you I'm grown. My wife will tell you. My kids will tell you. My mother will tell you. Society will tell you from the first video they saw on TGIM to now is different. So the first thing I need you guys to understand is to become a 1%er, you got to become a 1%er. No, people, E.T., I want to be just like you. Oh, you don't want this grind that I got. You don't want this light. You don't want to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. You don't want to drive an hour and a half to Detroit, fly to Nashville, speak at TSU, drive 2 hours to Huntsville, Alabama A&M, drive to Birmingham, come home, and you got an 8 to 10 hour session with another group. Like, you don't want this life. I'm sorry, you want this life. You don't want this grind. You want this life. You don't want this work. So listen to me very closely. I have what I have because I'm willing to do what others aren't willing to do. Like the average dude, if his wife would have called C, would have been like, yo, why you call my boy? Why you tripping? I wasn't like, why you tripping? I called C and said, what'd she say? Like, for real. And I'm pissed because I'm like, yo, I'm so goofy that you got to call C, you can't even talk to me about it. Like, I got this one area, I'm gonna be real, C will tell you, it ain't like I got 20 areas, but I had this one area that I couldn't get over, and I've been working hard. I couldn't get over this one area because I hadn't gotten over this one area. I couldn't get over this one area with my wife because I hadn't even got over it with my mama. So how you gonna get over it with your wife when you ain't never got, it was you and your mama, it was your mother and your relationship that started this mess. You got to go back and deal with your mom, but I'm like, God, I don't know what you own, but if you need to talk to my mom, you go talk to her. I ain't talking to her. I'm just being real. God was like, go holler at your mom. I'm like, I ain't holler at you, holler at her. If you think she need to know that, you tell her. You God. Why you sending me to do it? You supposed to be omnipotent, omniscient. Like, for real, you're supposed to be all that in a bag of chips. You're supposed to be powerful. So why don't you go talk to my mom? Why are you asking me as a sinner to go talk to my mom? He said, because I can talk to your mom and fix your mom, but then you still wouldn't be fixed. So I don't need you to go talk to your mom to go talk to your mom. I need you to go talk to your mom so you can get healing. No, y'all, okay, all right, let me take my time. We're gonna get to this first slide. You cannot be a 1%er if you're not a 1%er. So I'm gonna tell y'all what my pain point was. So this is where it all happened for me. So I want you to, as I'm talking, when it comes, write it down. Like, don't try to avoid it today. Don't try to avoid it. Like, cause you came here for entertainment. Don't try, it's not entertainment. Do not avoid it. When it come to your mind, just write it down. I'm not asking you to fix it, but write it down. So it always happened with the pain points. I love God. It always happened with the pain points. So the first pain point, I was working at Michigan State University, and my little girl was killing the game. Now, I didn't even know that I needed to take off work because my son never killed a game academically. So I never even knew I needed to be off work during the day. You know what I'm saying? My man wasn't like winning no awards academically. So, you know what I'm saying? I just going to work normal. Does that make sense? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my man wasn't never like at 10 o'clock in the morning getting on stage and like had a certificate for the best academic kid, and it wasn't happening. So I didn't even know that she's supposed to be going to the schools in the daytime. I had no conflict in the job until my daughter was born, and my daughter was like on that. Like, she wanted to get all A's. So my daughter would call like, Dad. Now remember, my biological father ain't in my life, so that's impacting how I father. So I'm a little overboard. You know what I'm saying? Because my dad wasn't there, now I'm trying to overcompensate. So my little girl called like, yo, Dad, I got the Patriot Award. I'm like, bet. All right, I'm there. 10 o'clock, I'm there. And my boss, like, yo, I'm about to go see my daughter, she whatever. And she like, well, you can't go because you at work. I'm like, well, first of all, let's keep it 100 between me and you. I'm an academic advisor. Ain't no kids coming to be advised at 10 o'clock in the morning. Let's just keep it 100. Like, I respect the fact that I got a job and I'm supposed to, but let me leave at 10 and work till 8. Because if they're going to get advising, they probably going to come after 2. Like, they ain't about to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning and come and get no advising. She's like, you can't do it. I was like, what? She's like, you can't go. Pain point number 1. Write pain point down somewhere so when yours get hit, you can just go ahead. If you got your phone, put it in your phone. Right? So she like, you can't go. And I'm like, well, first of all, I'm going. So whatever consequences I got to deal with, I got to deal with those consequences. But I'm not going to go see my daughter because my daughter was the one that when I would go, like my wife is we're going to talk about later, a high D. My wife is at work. She ain't taking off work for nothing. My wife like, bring the certificate home when you finish. I'll see you at 5:30. We'll go out to eat, but ain't nobody about to take off work for a certificate, right? But you know me, Dad, I'm up there, you know what I'm saying? I'm at everyone, and my daughter get up there, you can tell when they call her name, she looked to see if I'm there. I'm like, so I get back, my boss like, I'm like, boo, I don't know how I can explain this to you, but I'm not about to pick the job when ain't nobody coming to the office at 10 and be sitting here wondering what it'd be like to be with my daughters. Right? So pain point. I remember going I was ready to quit, but I got a lot of respect and honor. Like I grew up watching Kung Fu movies. No, you laughing. Some of y'all need to start watching Kung Fu movies. You don't got no integrity, no honor, no jack. Like for real. I was Chinese movies, right? My man come home, his brother dead. He like, I will avenge thee, my brother Chang Wang Li. You know what I'm saying? My man ain't done no karate his whole life. But they didn't kill his brother. Not in the movie. He just And my man gets strong. He fight a couple people, and then he finally see homeboy to kill his brother. You killed my brother, Chang Wang Li. Right? Mad honor. My man changed his whole swag, his whole life to handle it. So the person that hired me was the VP. So I went to the VP like, yo, bro, I'm out. He was like, where you going? I'm like, bro, she tripped, like, keep me like I'm a kid. Like, I can't do it. I got a daughter. I can't be missing stuff. Like, this is crazy. She don't like the program I'm doing. It's killing the game. I can't do this. He was like, do me a favor. Give it a year. I'm like, flat out. I'm like in prison, 365. Every day I'm marking off. You know what I'm saying? I'm marking that joint off. You know what I'm saying? Like, they move our offices. We get an office down the street. You know, we get all kind of privileges, but she's still like, I could tell she'd been through some stuff and she didn't get over it. And she taking it out on me. So first pain point was like, yo, C, we got to take it to another level. We got to go. We got 365 days. Now between you and me, unless something changed, we're about this joint. But when we leave, we're gonna have to have our papers straight. Like whatever we doing, we're gonna have to be ready. First pain point. That makes sense? That's the first pain point, right? Write that down. First pain. What's your pain points? So I knew like, yo, E, if you're gonna leave this job and you're gonna go out here and do what y'all doing, you're gonna have to take it to a whole nother level. Now, I never knew I would be a 1%er, but I knew I had to take it to another level. I want you to write down what percentage you're giving right now. I want you to write that down. Like, are you giving 70%, 80%, 90%? Right? And then the second pain point was, my wife was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie. Since we've been 18, 19, like, I see you. Like, it's a lot of stuff that you was dealing with. Now, let me just be real with y'all. Like, I have to explain to people, like, you might look up to me, but I don't look up to you. Like, you might, E.T., human. Like, yo, my father had 5 kids by 5 different women. My uncles, my grandfather, like, ain't nobody make no commitment like that. Wasn't nobody really, like, there for their kids. As much as I preach and speak, I'm still my father's child. I'm still him. Like, I'm still fighting every single day not to go back to who I was when I was 16, 17, 18. Like, and don't think because I speak, like, don't think because I'm number one in the world, like, I ain't still human. And I ain't still got demons I'm wrestling with and stuff I'm trying to. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? But somebody got to fight these demons. And I can't leave it up to the pastor. Somebody got to fight these demons, and I can't leave it up to my wife. Like some of you are for real, like you so weak. You got your wife fighting stuff for you that you be fighting yourself. You're weak. You got your counselor talking to you for 5-6 hours. Doggone it, stop paying and go look in the mirror and deal with him. You paying somebody to sit there for 5 hours to talk when you can just go in the mirror and look at yourself and pay yourself. Don't pay yourself and go stare in the mirror and talk to yourself and go back and forth and say, Negro, if you don't become your best person, I promise you, I'll deal with you. For real, you making excuses. You got a counselor, and I'm not mad at the counselor, but you've been in counseling for 2 years and ain't nothing changed. Stop getting the that's not working. Some of y'all praying. Praying is a cop-out. You've been praying for 6 years and you the same husband. It ain't no way you talking to the Creator and he didn't bless you and you still the same. It's not possible. So if you praying, it's just like a formality. It ain't no way you talking to the Creator that has all power and you the exact same. That's not possible. So my wife like, yo, this arguing thing is killing me. And this is why it was bad. Because we'd go 6 months, right? 6 months straight, nothing. And then we'd argue. And it would seem like I gained 80 yards and then I fumbled on the 2-yard line. You might be like, he killing the game. But I was like 6 months good, 8 months good, fumble. I'm like, dog, I done lost the ball on some dumb stuff. Like we was having a basic conversation. And then boom, I was exploded. And I was like, E, you gotta fix that. So I was like, you know what? I'm about to go 1%, like I'm going all out, right? So write that area down where you know you ain't go all out. I'm like, yo, I ain't really going out. Like, I listen to me. I'm telling y'all the truth. Listen to me. I put in work in my marriage. I put in work. I put in work not to be like my father. I put in work. I put in work not to be like my grandfather. And we're not just talking about my marriage. We're talking about school. Like my father, a high school dropout. My grandfather, I put in work to get a PhD. I put in work. I do not write. I'm not a good writer. Like me in the English language, we ain't got it like that. I tell people all the time, like, yo, E, you said, like I might say, I grew up, I'm just going to be real. I didn't even know until I got to college, it was ambulance. We ain't never say that. I looked at an ambulance went by one day and I was like, it actually had the word on it. I was like, they spelled that wrong. They say ambulance. It's ambulance. Where'd they get that from? No, and I need you to hear what I'm saying. I tell people all the time, don't get it twisted. I didn't wake up wanting to say ambulance. Don't get it twisted. I didn't wake up wanting to say the wrong thing. I was in an environment that was saying that. I was in an environment that told me that this is how you say it. And I'm not just in an environment with people who said it. I'm in an environment with people I love. My auntie's saying it. My grandma got a third education. She's saying it. So when I go get my PhD, it's not about getting my PhD. It's getting my PhD. And then people who giving me a PhD is disrespecting the people that raised me. They disrespecting the people that raised me. They not just saying, yo, this is good in this environment. They saying this is good in this environment and your environment is whack. They not saying use this when you here. They saying when you there, they shouldn't be saying that either. They saying our way is the best way and the only way. And I'm like, yo, you don't know what you're saying, but you disrespecting where I come from. My grandma might not have a PhD, but that's still my grandma. And she ain't stupid or dumb because she don't say it like you say it. This is what happened when you don't get equal opportunities. My grandma had to drop out in the 3rd grade. Why? Because she had to work because she didn't have the opportunities you had. So don't disrespect my grandma because she don't talk like you. She didn't get the opportunities you got or she would talk like you. So you're not hearing what I'm saying. So I'm learning over here and I'm growing over here, but you disrespecting who I am in my culture because I don't talk like you talk. So I'm battling, I'm struggling, I'm fighting, not just to learn, I'm fighting in the classroom where they talking about urban schools in the wrong. I'm fighting, but I got to get through this. Why? Because if I can get on the other side of this, write that down. If you can get on the other side, what would that look like? What would that look like on the other side? And that's what I woke up to every day. Like, yo, E, you got to get to marital bliss. I don't care how long it takes. You're going to be married anyway. You got to get to the PhD. I don't care how long it takes. You got to be educated anyway. E, you got to get to this money any kind of way you can get to this money because you can't stay at a job that don't let you go see your baby girl. You got to do whatever it takes, E, So we left the university, and I promise you, I never had a problem going to see my daughter. So what do you want? Write it down. What do you want? We get ready to go to work. What do you want? Look, I got every right to stand in front of you because I've been through the pain you've been through. I've been through the struggles you've been through. I've been through the hurt you've been through. I ain't Mr. Perfect, and I'm still not. When you watch my videos and you listen to the podcast, you hear me talk about it, but the difference between me and the average person is some of y'all quit and you ain't fighting no more. Some of you just letting who you are be. Like you just letting, like that person that you don't like, you just letting that person just have full reign. You don't check that person. You don't say nothing to that person. That person, people you love leaving your life, opportunities are leaving you, but you're gonna be that same person though. Even though you hate the fact that you're not growing, you don't hate the fact that you're not growing more than you hate the fact of who you are. Well, I'm gonna say it one more time. Like you hate the fact that you losing stuff, but you don't hate it enough to do something about it. You know your marriage ain't sweet, and you don't like the fact that it ain't sweet, but you don't have the heart, you don't have the strength, you don't have the tenacity, you don't have the will to do something about it. So you're just gonna keep home and having the same problems, or like go to the movies every occasion and act like ain't nothing happening. Be intimate like ain't nothing happening. Listen to me, I don't care how much sex you have, you cannot fix demons through sex. You cannot fix demons through going to the movies. You can't fix demons playing Uno. So stop. And stop thinking because you sweet in this area, that got something to do with this. Stop thinking, well, I'm making money. That has nothing to do with your wife feeling special and important. The fact that you went and got a job and you making money, that's something that you love. Not apparently, she ain't thinking it's that sweet because the marriage ain't blissful. So stop saying, look how much money I make. You are one-dimensional. Who cares that you can just make money?
Hello everyone, today our topic is pain point. I hope you are doing well today. My name is Today I wanted to reach out to discuss some challenges we have been helping address. Question to identify pain point. Could you tell me about any current challenges or frustrations you are facing in sufficient area to relate your product and service? Listen carefully to their response, taking a note of expressions pain point they mention. I understand many of those our clients intently face similar issues, such as beneficially summarizes the pain point they mentioned. What they found valuable was briefly mention a situation or benefit your product based on what you have searched. I believe we could pointedly help by mention key feature to solution your product, service and equalizations. Those this relates want with you. Could you be interested in exploring how was your situation? Might it fit within your association contents to operating workflow? If you are open to it, I do I would love to schedule a before can to dive deeper into your challenges and discuss how we can assist. Thank you for sharing your introduction today. I look forward to